Welcome to today's Tea Time audio story. It's time to slow down, take a deep breath, and enjoy a moment just for you. As you sip your favorite tea, let your mind drift into the world of stories, where imagination comes alive and anything is possible. Listening to audio stories isn't just entertaining, it's also a wonderful way to relax, spark creativity, and improve your English in a natural and enjoyable way. Stories have the power to transport us to far-off places, introduce us to new characters, and remind us of life's little lessons. So whether you're here to unwind, learn something new, or simply enjoy a quiet escape, this is your time. Get comfortable, let your worries melt away, and allow today's story to take you on a journey. Let the magic begin. The events of homecoming had left Sophia shaken, but one thing had changed. Ethan was no longer just the boy who stood in the background. He had stepped forward, stood up for her, and now, he refused to let her face anything alone. The first time it happened, Sophia barely realized it. It was the morning after the homecoming dance. She had barely slept, her mind replaying Olivia's words, her grip, the fear that had settled deep in her bones. She walked into school with her shoulders slumped, exhaustion clinging to her like a second skin. Ethan was waiting by her locker. "Hey," his voice was soft, but his eyes were sharp, scanning her face like he was reading every unspoken thought. She tried to smile. "Hey." He sighed, then without a word, pulled her into a tight hug. The warmth of his body, the steady rhythm of his heartbeat against her ear, it was overwhelming. Safe. He smelled like coffee and something distinctly Ethan, and before she could stop herself, she closed her eyes and let herself sink into the moment. "You didn't sleep, did you?" he murmured against her hair. Sophia shook her head slightly. His grip tightened. "I'm here, okay? You don't have to go through this alone." Sophia felt something break inside her, something heavy that she hadn't even realized she was carrying. She had always been strong, always kept things to herself, but with Ethan, she didn't have to. From a distance, Olivia watched, her nails digging into her palm. She had never seen Ethan like this. Never seen him hold anyone like they were his entire world. The sight of it made her stomach twist painfully. A week later, Sophia was still feeling on edge. She told herself it was silly, Olivia had been avoiding her, and nothing had happened since. But the fear clung to her, making her jump at every shadow. Ethan noticed everything. So when they were walking down the crowded hallway and someone accidentally brushed too close to her, Sophia flinched, just barely, but enough for Ethan to see. Without hesitation, he moved. One of his hands pressed lightly against the small of her back, guiding her through the crowd, his body positioned slightly in front of hers as if shielding her from an unseen threat. Sophia's heart skipped a beat. "You're safe," he said quietly, "just for her. I won't let anything happen to you." The weight of his words settled deep in her chest. He wasn't just saying it, he meant it. And that scared her in the best way possible. Later that evening, as they sat outside the library waiting for the rain to ease, Ethan exhaled and turned to her. "Sophia, can I ask you something?" She looked up, her heart already racing. "Of course." He ran a hand through his hair, suddenly nervous. "I know homecoming didn't exactly go as planned. And I hate that you didn't get to enjoy it. But there's another dance coming up. The winter formal." Sophia's breath hitched. The winter formal. A dance she had never planned on attending. But the way Ethan was looking at her, the quiet hope in his eyes. "You don't have to say yes," he added quickly, misinterpreting her silence. I just thought. Yes. Ethan froze. Wait, really? Sophia laughed, a warmth blooming in her chest. Yes, Ethan. I'd love to go with you. His grin was immediate, lighting up his entire face. Okay. Good. Great, he laughed, rubbing the back of his neck. I promise you'll actually get to dance this time. Watching from a distance, Olivia clenched her fists, jealousy burning through her. She had spent years trying to get Ethan's attention, and now, Sophia had it without even trying. The night of the winter formal arrived, and Sophia felt like she was floating as Ethan led her onto the dance floor. The music was slow, the soft glow of the fairy lights casting everything in a golden haze. I told you I'd make sure you danced, Ethan murmured, his hand warm against the small of her back as he pulled her closer. Sophia smiled, her fingers lacing through his. I don't think I've ever danced like this before. Ethan tilted his head, watching her. Like what? She hesitated, then whispered, like I actually want to. Something flickered in Ethan's eyes before he slowly leaned in, their foreheads touching. Me too, he admitted softly. Sophia's heart pounded as they swayed together, lost in each other. The world around them faded, the music, the crowd, everything. It was just the two of them, moving as if they had done this 1,000 times before. His touch was light yet firm, guiding her through the dance like she belonged there, like they belonged together. Sophia's breath hitched when Ethan's thumb brushed against her knuckles, sending tingles up her arm. She had never felt this way before. It was terrifying and exhilarating all at once. I don't think I want this night to end, she confessed softly. Ethan chuckled, his voice a warm murmur. Then let's make every moment count. Their eyes met, and something unspoken passed between them, an understanding, a promise. A love that was growing, slow but steady, impossible to ignore. But across the room, Olivia watched, her eyes dark with envy. She had lost. And she wasn't ready to accept that. As Ethan spun Sophia gently under the twinkling lights, Olivia's mind raced. If she couldn't have Ethan, she would make sure Sophia didn't either. Sophia's best friend, Lily, had been watching all night. As soon as the song ended, she pulled Sophia aside, a teasing grin on her lips. So, when were you planning to tell me that you and Ethan are basically a couple now? Sophia's cheeks flushed. We're not. Oh, please, Lily laughed. You two were in your own world out there. He couldn't take his eyes off you, and don't even get me started on the way you were looking at him. Sophia bit her lip, glancing back at Ethan, who was watching her with that same warm expression. Maybe Lily was right. Maybe this was something more. Lily nudged her. Just admit it already. You're falling for him. Sophia exhaled, a slow smile spreading across her lips. Maybe I already have. Thank you for joining today's Tea Time story. We hope you enjoyed this journey into the world of imagination and storytelling. Whether it made you smile, sparked a new thought, or simply gave you a moment to relax, we're grateful to have shared this time with you. Thank you for listening and being part of our story time. Keep dreaming, keep imagining, and we'll see you again for another magical tale soon. Until next time, take care and happy listening.